In this video, I'm going to go over something that's been really bothering me for years now. Now, there's a couple of these. I'm going to separate them. Now, if I had any family or an attorney, I probably could have done something about this because there definitely was fear of this corporation because they did something wrong. So wrong that they wanted me to sign a release that says I can't sue them, which I refuse to sign. We're going to go over this now. It's a little upsetting, so the camera's going to go down. I guarantee you every word of this is true, and I'll do my best to describe it in detail, even though this is not easy to talk about, and it's fucked up shit, and I'm lucky I didn't kill the kid. But then again, if I hit or abused or threw this kid out of my room really violently, I would have been injected with Thorazine. There's a couple others, but the Thorazine is the main one they inject you with, Haldol. And then there's benzodiazepam. And then I think the other one's Benadryl, or the generic for Benadryl. They mix all those together and they inject you with it. If you have problems with it or not. If you seem to have side effects, doesn't matter. If you're lethargic and drool on yourself, doesn't matter. Somebody's doing something very, very wrong that is considered assault, doesn't matter. You're getting injected. Even if your organs and your internal body cannot handle high doses of Haldol mixed with benzodiazepam, they're going to give it to you. And if you don't want it and you're trying to fight back, there will be 5 guys that tackle you to the ground, hold each one of your limbs, and make it stick right in here. You'll never forget it then. Anyways, we're going to go into what happened. So, it was during winter. And during this winter, I was homeless. It was about 10-20 degrees out. I was living outside. I would try to go to the shelter, but a lot of the things that the doctors were doing would get me banned from the shelter. I was banned from the shelter because I didn't have paperwork on me from the hospital. I was banned at the shelter because somebody came over and hit me in the head while I was watching TV that I didn't know. That was just a psycho. It wasn't. I've got hit before for saying things before. I've gotten in fistfights. But this guy was literally just some psycho. Nothing. We didn't even have an interaction. He just came over and hit me. I, of course, got mad because I don't know this guy, and I'm asking what the fuck is wrong with him. The staff come over, and they throw us both out even after 4 people explain that I did not hit the guy back. It's not a fight. The guy just came over and hit me in the face. And I told staff, too. I stayed calm. The guy, I said, what the fuck is wrong with you? But then I calmed down and went and saw staff. So anyways, that's going on. So I'm outside. And I end up having, I think I pass out, or maybe they assume I'm suicidal, or I might have been on medication. There was a lot of times where I was afraid I was going to die by morning. And I did end up going to the hospital, and they tried to say that I was suicidal. And the weirdest part about it is if you want to leave, you got to tell them you're suicidal. And if you want to stay, you have to tell them you're okay. They do the reverse of what you tell them at the hospital. So if you get sent to the emergency room for cuts on your arm and you tell them you're suicidal and they're not deep, they won't keep you in a long-term hospital. But if you have not too deep cuts in your arm and you go to the hospital and you tell them you're not suicidal, release me, I'm not suicidal, release me, let me go, I gotta go to work tomorrow, they will keep you. They absolutely will keep you for 30 days. There was a guy who took too much alcohol and benzos, passed out, and he got a suicide evaluation. It's very common. So it doesn't matter what you tell the guy, if you say you're not, if you are. They play all these mind games. They load you up on pills so you can't think straight. But they have a heater. They have a bed, a heater, and 3 meals a day. And you won't die. You're not going to freeze to death. Nobody's going to stab you. And you're not going to go to sleep and not wake up in the morning. You're also, if you do have any seizure activity, they're going to assume it's because you're an alcoholic or because you're homeless, and they're going to load you up on benzo so you don't have any twitches whatsoever. Oh my God, they load me up on all different types of benzos and pills, even if I didn't want them. I had one little twitch, and they're like, here you go. So anyways, I get sent to Lowell Treatment Center. Now, this was the place where I was abused, and I had a second dose of medication forced upon me at a young age. I was like 12. But now I'm in the adults upstairs. I'm on the adult unit. I'm like, I don't know, 20 or something, 19, 20, I don't know. Something like that. And I've been to this hospital several times. They have sent me to this hospital against my will several times. Several times. No matter how many times I want to leave, they don't let me out. So I check in willingly. Willingly. Now, I can't sign out anyways. If I wanted to sign out, there would be like a week wait. They would evaluate me, and then I'll get out in a week. But I am cooperating with these people who say they're going to help me. They're going to give me meds and make me all better. Okay, then. You're going to make me all better. I'm sober right now. I'm not drinking, and I'm not in the freezing cold seizing 24/7. And they always blamed it on the alcohol. Oh, that's just alcohol shakes. That's just alcohol shakes. Yeah, what 7-year-old has alcohol shakes? What 7-year-old gets this when he looks at fireworks? Tell me that. And why, when I've been sober 8 years, is it getting worse? None of those, it wasn't. And these weren't doctors anyways. These were just patients and random people that aren't even trained as medical professionals. So anyways, I'm in Lowell Treatment Center. I'm in the adult unit. I walk in the door and I go to the desk. Now, this is about 6 p.m., 7 p.m. before everybody leaves for the night and the night shift comes in. There's me and some Spanish, half black, dreadlock kid. I just walked in. He just walked in. Staff brought him in. I brought in. I signed my name. He looks over, stares at me. I end up saying, hi, how you doing? And he goes, good. And like the weirdest good I have ever heard. So I decide, this guy, I'm going to stay away from. This guy I don't have nothing to fucking do with. Right then and there. So I don't hang out with him. I don't play cards. I don't do nothing. I go to my room and I talk to the staff and I say, that guy's not anywhere near me, right? He goes, no, no, no. He's on the other side on 1 and you're on 9. There's all these in between you. Don't worry. I said, okay. I mean, I don't think anything's going to happen anyways. I just don't want him as a roommate. They said, nope, he's not your roommate. I said, okay, good. So I go in. My roommate's asleep. I go to bed. They give me a loaded up dose of 600 milligrams of Seroquel, 100 milligrams to 200 milligrams of Trazodone, and I can't remember the rest. There's a cocktail of a couple more. Now, these are meds I was told repeatedly that I had to take for life by doctors, by my mother. My father always backed it up, so he did as well. My father always agreed with my mother that I needed those meds for life. So, I take the meds, and I know something's wrong now, because at about 19, 18, I started putting the meds in a drawer, and oh my God, did I recover. Oh my God. I mean, with marijuana putting me asleep, I was doing amazing. Then I went back to taking 300 milligrams. Oh my God, my life sucked. And I figured this out. Now that I'm 31 and not 19, I can tell you that the medications and this history is the problem. And I should have known a long time ago. But I was a stupid kid. First, I was a stupid 7-year-old. Then I was a stupid teenager. Then, in my early 20s, I thought I could drink myself away because, hey, it doesn't make me shake and it's legal and my parents drink everything. So, why not? yeah, it was a good cure for the first year. After that, it stopped working. So, nope. Anyways, I'm in this program called Lowell Treatment Center. I'm now in my bed on Seroquel and Trazodone, enough dosage to put a freaking elephant out. I dare anybody listening to this video to go to their doctor, get prescribed 600 milligrams of Seroquel for sleep, and then tell me 5 years later how you're doing. Because the first year you're going to say you're sleeping like a baby with some weird side effects. The second year you're going to start getting very worried. And then from there it's just going to go downhill. So yes, I was out. I wake up in the middle of the night feeling some guy, or at the time I thought it might be a tarantula, in my pants. All of a sudden I look over and see a body. So I grab the hand. I throw him across the room. I fucking rush over to the light, turn it on. I look at what it is. It's that fucking Spanish kid. I say, get the fuck out before I kill you. Get the fuck. I get very mad. I tell him he needs to get out. How dare you? So he leaves. I go out calmly. Well, obviously I'm not super calm, but I walk up to the desk and I say, do not let that kid in my room again. He is not my roommate. He does not belong in my room. And the staff is on her phone, pulls her head up and goes, uh-huh. I said, no, really. He just crawled in my bed. She looked back down at the phone and said, uh-huh. I said, well, great. This is the medical nurses we get nowadays? Okay. So I go back to the room. An hour later, he comes back in again, tries to crawl in my bed. But I feel it this time because I'm trying to fall asleep. So I fucking push him off, and I end up throwing his ass by pushing him out the door. Now, he's walking back again. She sees that, and she goes, what's going on? I said, I told you, get him out of my room. And he's walking down the hall. I go back to bed. About 3 in the morning, the kid comes back in a third time. So what do? I go right out to the staff. I yell at them. I go, this kid's in my room again. He stuck his hand in my pants. I'm getting sexually assaulted in there. What the hell are you doing over here? And she's on her phone, watching movies on her phone, going, oh, he's not your roommate? And then she looks back down. I go, no, he's not my roommate, and he's still in my room. And she just sits there and goes, go back to sleep. The kid's still in my room, and she's telling me go back to sleep. So I throw his ass out. He goes back to bed. The next morning, I tell a staff member about it at the front desk. They say, really? And okay, the next day goes by. He tries it one more time in my bedroom. I throw his ass out. The fat lady is nowhere to be seen at the desk. She's not even there this time. So the next day, I'm trying to tell a staff member at the med desk about it. I tell him, I sit down on an armchair to watch TV. He's in the room talking to the doctors. He comes out of the room. He goes past me because there's only about 2 feet. You have to go past the seating arrangements no matter what. You got to go through like the 8 TV room seats from that little desk room. There was a desk room, like an office. And then they have the living room extended out from that with the TV. I guess it's not really a living room. It's a small little room with a circle of chairs. And then from there, you end up having the med desk and everything else. So he had to go past the back of the chairs to get, and he had plenty of people, not just me. There was like 3 other people's chairs he passed. When he gets to me, he tries to rub up against my shoulder, and I had it. I just grabbed him, and I started whacking him in the face. Staff grabbed me by each arm, slammed me to the ground, injected me with, that would be benzodiazepam, Haldol, and Benadryl, or the generic name for Benadryl. It's whatever. I do know how to pronounce it. I've said it 100 times, but I just can't think of it. It has nothing to do with how I'm saying it. To that word, I did want to say pronunciation. That one's getting blocked. That has nothing to do with me not knowing how to say it or not saying it enough times. But anyways, so at this point, I go back to my room. I'm drugged. I'm drooling on myself. And they asked me why I did that. I told them why. They checked the cameras. Oh, they were all concerned. The director came up from downstairs. Everybody, I had an apology from the day staff. They said the night staff would be fired. The director wanted me to sign paperwork saying I was not going to sue them, which I refused to sign, and he said that's my legal right. At that point, it was a short stay for me there left. Now, there was camera footage. There was reports. There was a staff member fired. I had a guy try to stick his finger in my asshole. Actually, he had his hand in my pants. He had his hand there. And I was on so many drugs, thanks to these doctors. Who knows how far he got? Who knows? All I know is I fucking woke up and kicked his fucking ass. That's all I can say. I pushed him right out of that room. And that wasn't even the worst. It wasn't like I even hit him. No, I just pushed him all the way onto the floor across the room with one big push. Then when he got up, I just shoved him out of the room each time and told staff, hey, I signed an agreement when I came in. I wasn't going to assault anybody. But that doesn't mean I have the right to be assaulted, does it? But that wasn't the first time. I've been given double doses of medication there as well. There was a time when I was about, 12 or something around that age, where I was sent there and they held me down and gave me a double dose of medication. There also was a time in the orphanage called St. Anne's where they gave me a double dose of medication in the same hour as well. And that one was just related to ketchup and orange juice and another little brat. So, I have been given double medications by St. Anne's and Lowell Treatment Center. I've been sexually assaulted under the care of the Lowell Treatment Center. I was over-medicated, given medications I wasn't prescribed, and given Ipecac and other over-the-counter medicines in extra and extreme amounts. Let me see what else. I've been given steel shards in my Suboxone and developed a GI issue. I have a letter in the mail that says if I developed any GI issues, then I should consult a doctor and an attorney, because steel shards were left in one of my medications and I could be one of the people that got it. Now, what's the funny part about this letter? I was literally going to the GI specialist 6 months before I got the letter. I was having serious GI problems before I got that letter, as well as I'm still having swelling and inflammation now. And this was only this year. So a pharmaceutical company might have screwed up my GI region by putting it in my medication, what might kill me even faster now. And on top of that, I was prescribed Renadine for multiple years during the time where there was chemicals in it that can cause cancer in the GI region. And I was prescribed that as well. I had plenty of records from Walgreens, the pharmacies. There's plenty saying I was on Renadine. So I've been given 2 recalled meds. I was also given a whole bottle of recalled Ipecac. I've been given double medicine doses. My mother gave me opiates on a plane. She twisted my mind. She was trying to cover up something she did. She moved me all over the country. They gave me little to no education or a chance to get an education. She whipped me with a frickin' ruler. She whacked me in the car, and she would have psychotic rants, as well as she would brainwash me into trying to repeat phrases and things like, I'm schizophrenic, I'm hearing voices, or I'm depressed, I've always been depressed, or phrases like, I must be bipolar, you're bipolar, you need to admit that you're bipolar to the doctors. That is what she said to me, constantly. She would bring me out to expensive dinners and tell me I need meds for life. And then when I asked why, she told me it was a chemical imbalance, and then that was it. And a lot of what was going on was complete psychoness. She would wake me up in the middle of the night when nobody was around, telling me she's hearing voices and seeing people in the hallways when I'm sound asleep. I had no friends. And by the way, if you're thinking maybe I had people hanging out there or something, I had nobody come over to my mother's house for those 8 years prior. Not daytime, not nighttime, never. Nobody wanted to go see my mother and my father. Nobody. I had friends, but they were far away. Nobody but Dan wanted to drive them. And on top of it, once when I got them to come over, one time when I saw my friends again, they would comment. So, this is some of the stuff that I'm going over in this video. Because after I'm done, I'll feel better. Because I sometimes pace around the house because I'm trying to quit smoking. And some of these PTSD memories really do bother me. And I wasn't born with PTSD. But after meeting my mother, after going to all these hospital and programs, after being left in the mountains of New Mexico, oh yeah, oh my God, the shit I've seen is something like a military soldier who was left in the jungles. I mean, this shit is nuts. My mother's completely nuts. The way these hospitals are acting is completely inappropriate. The way nurses are acting is completely inappropriate. Corporations are acting inappropriately. And psychiatrists are overprescribing and upping doses when there's deadly side effects. Something is seriously wrong with this divided states of America. I thought we were the United States of America. United we stand, divided we fall. Tell me now, does this seem like a divided country to you, or does this seem like a country that is united, strong, where everybody that works hard is paid what they're worth, and when you go to the doctor, you can be sure that he's not going to treat you like a used car and try to sell you brakes you don't need?